Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Authentic Podcast with Justin Doulard. And thank you for tuning in to another episode. It's time!
All right, James Krause, thanks for joining me, brother. I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy and got a lot going on, which is what we're going to dive into. Before we started, I do have to give a couple shout outs. The first big one to Bobby at Sheath. I know that's one of your sponsors or one of your guys now.
Yeah.
And that's how I heard you on. I heard you first on his podcast, and then I said, "Hey, Bobby, great show." And he's like, "I'll see if I can get you hooked up." So shout out to both of you guys for that. And Bobby's a great guy. If you haven't got to meet him in person, you will probably one day. And then to Darren Potts, man, he runs the Potts podcast, and he's had a couple of your fighters on there. I know he's had Kevin Kroom and James Gallagher doing a lot of good podcasts and got a lot of good content. So shout out to those guys. But what's going on in your world? I know you're fresh off the fight night, coaching basically half the card, it felt like.
Yeah. It's that's kind of what it just seems like. Almost every weekend now, I have somebody on a card somewhere in this world, and pretty much just do that. Coach during the day, and if I don't have my kids at night, I have my kids most of the time. But if I don't, I work on real estate, investing, whatever, and that's pretty much what I do all day, every day.
Yeah. So I wanted to have you on for several reasons. I mean, big MMA fan, but then just a big fan of yours overall. Me and my wife really started following you when you were on The Ultimate Fighter. So I was going to kind of ask you about that too. It's always a question I had. How did you get on The Ultimate Fighter when you were already currently on the UFC roster? Because that's kind of unorthodox, correct?
I just asked. It was something I wanted to do, and I just asked to be on, and they liked it, and we went with it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of always, if you never ask, the answer is always no. And a lot of people just never thought of it. So sounds like it worked out for you.
Yeah, it was good. I was in a point in my career where I wasn't really getting a ton of exposure, and I was fighting. I feel like I was always the B side. Like, I felt like I was always the guy that was like, hey, we have this guy and we want him in a tough fight. It's like I always got set up. I always feel like I was getting set up, not set up like maliciously or anything like that, but like I was always the B side. I was always the guy that they brought me in to fight somebody else. You know what I mean? And I'd win some and I'd lose some. Some of them I was ready for, some of them I wasn't. And man, like I feel like I was in a weird spot in my career, and I felt like the exposure was, and nobody really knew who I was. You know what I mean? And so I wanted the exposure, and I noticed that they always seem to take care of those guys, So that was a really big reason for me to go back on that show. And that was kind of the idea, the idea in a nutshell of why I wanted to do that.
Well, it sounds like it worked to a decent extent. I'm sure a lot of the other things you're doing in life got you to where you are now, but that's how I found you for sure. So.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Like a lot of people say, "Hey, I watched you on Tough," and that's where I started following you. And I'm good with it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this for a long time, and if that's when you started watching me, then let's go.
Here we are. Yeah.
So
So you're a lot different to me in ways that you don't seem fake at all, pretty genuine and call it how it is, and kind of a no bullshit guy. How was that for you being on the show? Considering, it is a TV show that they kind of pump that drama in or kind of get things sparked up, you don't really seem to fall into that shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty tough to just live with anybody that you don't normally live with for 6 weeks anyway. And then the show is made for that. That's what they want. And I don't think they don't fabricate anything. I'll be honest. I was actually pretty surprised of how organic it all was, really. But anytime you put the biggest problem was for me was like, I felt like I was kind of, I'm going to sound like a dick when I say this, but I feel like I was kind of an established adult, going into the show. Like, I had a family, I had my own house, I had a business I was running at home. And some of these guys just weren't quite there yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. but the maturity level on some of them just wasn't quite, I shouldn't say maturity level. It's not like, I don't want to say they're immature, but just, you know how, like, I don't know if you do this, but I do this all the time where, like, I look back at, like, my Facebook memories, it's like 10 years ago, and I was like, God, what a dipshit. You know what I mean? Like, why did I say that? You know, and, like, I just feel like these guys were just in a different place in their life, whether they be younger or just in different places in their life or whatever, you know, whatever it is. And they didn't care about stuff. So there was a few of us that, you know, got up at a normal time every morning and had breakfast, had coffee, and talked about life, talked about business, and, you know, just whatever we could talk about. It's, you're there for 6 weeks with, you know, 13 guys or 14 guys or however many, like, and then I don't know. It's just such a melting pot of different personalities. It's almost impossible to get along with everybody. Now, mix that in, like, as the show progresses, people are out of the show after they lose, like, and then at like week 3 is when shit starts hitting the fan, because that's when people start getting eliminated, and it's like, no one cares anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't care if they're up until 3 a.m. And keep in mind, like, on the bedroom doors, there is no door. First of all, there's no doors. So they can walk in and out. You have a camera crew following you around. You can't, like, there's no door on the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. There's cameras everywhere, like literally everywhere. Closet, bathroom, bedroom. And mix that in with the bedroom that I stayed in. There was 4 of us. I fought every single person in my bedroom at some point. Nice. And yeah, it's just weird. You know what I mean? It's a very unique situation. And that was one of the reasons that, you know, one of the things that attracted me to that show is just like, I feel like you got to be a different type of person to be on that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I personally don't think any age past like 21 or 22 that I could live with like even 13 of my best friends and not have them drive me crazy. I mean,
it's just tough, man. It's just tough.
Much less guys I'm about to fist fight if that was the case. Yeah. I thought it was funny too. You talk about the Facebook memories, because me and my wife will go back and read ours, and she'll reshare hers of when she was, you know, saying dumb shit or putting rap lyrics. No, I'm like, I'm not reading mine. No way. No one's going to see this.
I don't even open that. dumb app.
Oh, that's funny.
I've had too much stuff happen to me in the last 10 years. I don't want no part of reliving that.
Right. I did have a compliment for you too. So my brother lives in Vegas and he trains at Tribe now, but his head coach and the owner of the gym now was at Syndicate, I think, when you were coming off of Tough, or when you were out there. And he did say that you were the only visiting pro fighter that has ever offered to clean the mats after training. So when I told him that you were coming on anything, he just said, you know, that spoke all he needed to know about you right there. So he wanted to drop that little comment for you.
I mean, I always try to, you know, I don't feel like people offer enough, you know, so that's important to me, that people know that, people know that I'm respectful of, you know, and I'm grateful to be there. You know what I mean?
Sure. So, well, yeah. I listened to one of your episodes with the Protein Brothers, the podcast. Yeah. It might have been an older one, but I know you shared it on your story. So I kind of wanted to delve into it and talk to you, because you mentioned something about how the UFC had kind of approached you, you know, because you're kind of becoming the staple of like, hey, I'm a fighter, but now I'm an investor, and I'm trying to like grow myself outside of fist fighting. Is there something in the works there for you to kind of be like a representative to the UFC fighters, or like, is there what's up with that?
There's nothing as far as like, from like an investment standpoint, you mean?
Or so my
financial.
Yeah. Are you going to start like teaching these guys finance, kind of like, you know, they do in the NFL and the NBA?
Yeah, it's funny you brought that up. Like, there's nothing formal happening, but I was told by somebody pretty high up, I'm not going to say who it is, but I was told by somebody pretty high up at the UFC, like very high up, that they planned on doing some financial stuff, and they thought I would be a great front runner for it. I haven't heard anything else past that. I would love that job. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to be a part of that. That sounds something right up my alley. If they do, cool. If not, no biggie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to keep doing my thing regardless. But I think it is so imperative to have some type of financial literacy, especially as a professional athlete. I mean, like, God dang, like, what are the stats? Like, it was like 78 or 76% of professional athletes are broke within 2 years of their career ending, or something. You know, it might even be more than that. It's something astronomical. That's like, what?
Yeah, so, I mean, you watch all those 30 for 30s on ESPN. It's like really sad.
It is, man. And like, and we as fighters, I don't make a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't make a lot. I don't make I don't make a lot fighting. I make a lot, but not a lot of fighting. So like, but that's on us. You know what I mean? That's on us to separate ourselves and make our own way. The UFC, and that's what people think is like they think the UFC is like the end all be all. It's not. Like, I just told my team this morning. I've been signed with the UFC since 2013, and like I've never had this sense of like security or like this is the end of the road. This is my payday. Like, dude, I don't get paid enough by these guys to live the lifestyle that I want to live. You know what I mean? Like, the UFC didn't buy this damn house. I'll tell you that right now. And it's just you gotta kind of make your own way out there, and that's on you. That's your responsibility. You got to go past that. UFC is a platform to do other things, in my opinion, unless you're John Jones or one of those guys, and I'm not one of those guys. So
sure,
it is what it is.
Yeah, my thought process with that was a little different than what you referenced on the podcast with the protein guys. You basically had said that said to the UFC, is that the responsibility to help these guys with financial literacy? And you were like, well, it's not their job. That's your own independent job. But I was thinking of it in a different light and saying, not that it's their job, but like prosperity is only going to create more prosperity. So I'm thinking. James Krause, he said you woke up at 30 and you were like, man, I don't have a lot to my name and I'm a professional athlete. So you you hit a light bulb. I'm thinking, what if you had someone impact you maybe 5-6 years before, because you've already got this large impact on fighters and the community you're around. What if they'd have gotten you 5-6 years before and you didn't have to go to YouTube hypothetically?
I'm not sure if I was ready for it. I don't know. Shit, it would have been nice to have the information, if I choose to use it or not. You're right. You're 100% right. It would have been nice to have that information, and I could have chose to use it or not use it. At that point, the ball's in my court. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah, that would have been really nice.
I just get the image in my head that a lot of other coaches outside of you are, teaching people how to fight and how to win the next fight, and that's it. But you're like, hey, let's win this fight, but let's grow a business. Let's retire. Let's not have to fight till we're 42 on, Logan Paul's undercard to get a final check and call it good. So
this is a complete off-topic question. Do you edit the show or no? Is it just a one?
I can edit it if needed. Otherwise, I will not. But
I haven't talked to my son all day, and he's going to FaceTime me in a second, and I'm going to sound like a complete goofball for about 20 or 30 seconds. You can keep it, or you can not keep it if you want. I don't care, but I just want to tell him good night.
No, that's 100% keepable. So
okay,
yeah,
I'm just
free.
texting. Okay, as soon as he calls, I'll let you know. But I haven't seen him all day. And I just want to tell him. So yeah, no, you're right though. Like, and those are really cool to have those moments where you can get those big paydays. That's really cool. That's nice. They're awesome. But it's still like, this is what I try to tell my guys. Like, listen, cash will make you rich. Assets make you wealthy. Cash will only last as long as it's coming in. You know what I mean? So like, this is the problem is the guys buy, they let's say you get, I don't know, $250,000 payday, which 90% of these guys in the UFC will never even touch half that in one fight. But let's just say $250,000. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to put that money to work for them. And that's where it starts to get dicey. So it just sits in a bank account. And then they're like, oh, I want a Rolex. Oh, I want Gucci shoes. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. And then before you know it, the shit's gone. And it's like you don't have anything to show for it. And that's where like my problem is these guys don't know how to put it to work for themselves. And you don't have to have $250,000 to do that. Like I tell my guys, like if you have $5,000 or $10,000, like one of the first things you can do is $100 a month. And like I do not like financial planners. That is in the 3 asset classes that I invest in. Long-term financial planning is by far the lowest of the low for me, but I still put away safe money more for probably tax shelter than anything, but whatever. But these guys, like, I think it's like, what is it? $100 a month for 40 or 50 years is like 1.1 or $1.7 million. Like, and if you can't save $100 a month, then we got bigger problems to begin.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's true. You laugh, but some of the guys are like, dude, I don't know if I can do that. Like, well, fuck, what are we talking about then? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's just like, what do you mean you can't do $100? But then you have way bigger problems and I can help you.
Sure. So. And I think that's what goes back with that prosperity is going to create more prosperity is these guys are super talented in the cage.
1 second. It's calling. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Buddy, hi. I miss you, man. You got Baby Yoda? You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hi, buddy. Okay, buds. I'll let you go. I just wanted to say night, miss you, and I love you. Oh, you want to do the eye thing? You're so silly, dude. Okay, man. I'll let you go to sleep, okay? I love you. Bye-bye. All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah. How old is he?
2.
Nice. My son's turning 1 in like 3 weeks. So
Yeah, I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old.
nice. And I was going to ask you about that too, because you're big on a lot of this for yourself, but you're like, hey, I'm trying to set my family up for the future so they don't have to stress and worry about this stuff. For your kids, what are your plans with them? Are you trying to hand them off businesses, or just maybe try to create a financial background for them? Or like I know when my son was born, we started like a 529 for him, which is for college, gross tax free, and there's other options, but that's what we went with so far.
Yeah.
So.
I give them both $100 a month. I contribute that, and then if they get birthday money, I typically let them have like 60-70% of it. Or I'm sorry, I put back 60-70% of it, and then I let them spend the rest of it. Like, what if my 2-year-old gets $100 for Christmas? What the fuck's he gonna do with $100? You know what I mean? Like, the dude has everything he needs. Like, so I put that in his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they don't know this, but each one of them has a house that I will give them whenever they're 25, that they can choose to either live in rent free, or really any time like 25 or before. Like, I want them to have their shit together. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't want to hand this off when they're 17 or 18 years old, but they can choose to live there rent free, or they can rent it out and use it as a profit generating tool. Now, as my real estate portfolio grows, I'm hoping to eventually turn that into a duplex or a fourplex or an apartment complex, or, you know what I mean? Like, at some point I can give them something. But the thing is, like, I don't want to give them something to, like, my intention is not to give them something to coddle them. That's not what I want to do. Like, they need to understand what they have, and I will remain in control of it because of that. So I want them to understand financial literacy, the things they don't teach you in school, inflation, what that looks like. I don't really, I don't want to say I don't believe in college, because that's not necessarily true. I think for the most part, it's a scam. There are some occupations that you have to have for it and are great for it, for sure. Anyway, I don't want to dive down the rabbit hole, but like, I want them to understand what all this means, and I don't want to just hand them something, like, they need to know what it means and what they have, and treat it as a business. My goal is for them to not have to necessarily like go into the workforce. You know what I mean? And like, they can have a business. Like, hey, I'm giving you step 1. If you keep amplifying this, we can really do this better and more. And you really don't have to have a job. Like, I work every day. People ask me all the time. That's the number one thing I get asked from younger fighters. It's like, James, when did you stop working? I said, motherfucker, I work more than anybody you know. What are you talking about? Dude, it's 7:49 p.m. where I'm at right now. I was working until we got on this. Like, I'm still like, I don't stop working. I've looked at 2 different properties today. I coached class. I had 4 pad sessions that I held. I've looked at 2 properties today. I've done all kinds of banking and lending shit for current loans that I have. I'm doing this podcast now. As soon as I get off with you, I'm going to jump on and do some more stuff. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? These guys have taken a fucking nap. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't have any idea what I do. You know what I mean? Like, you're so, yeah, they're going out, they're partying, they're getting ready right now to go out. It's just stupid, man. Like, I don't do that shit.
You think you're changing a lot of those fighters' minds and culture slowly? And like you said, a lot of it is an age thing too. When you're 22, 23, like, anybody can tell you anything in the world, but you're just going to have to find it out for yourself. But you think you're kind of changing your culture and your team? I mean, I would assume so.
No doubt, man. I have guys investing way earlier. I have guys asking me questions about money, what to do with it, taxes, all this other stuff that I know guys that listen. I know personally, guys that are in the top, I'll just say top 10, but much higher than that are owing 6 figures plus of taxes because they didn't know how to allocate correctly.
That's really.
I'll even go as far as to tell you top 5, and it's even higher than that.
And these are personal friends or guys you fought?
These are people I know. And that's fucking scary.
Yeah, for sure, man. That really is. I think you mentioned that on that podcast as well. And that was kind of a light bulb moment for you too, that doesn't matter if you're making, 10 on the undercard or 250, as long as you don't manage it, it's going to go to shit.
Yep. It's how you spend $1 is how you'll spend $1 million.
Sure. Tell me a little bit about, or as much as you want to go delve into it, about this MMA On. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah. MMA On is a really, really cool project that I'm actually on the board of advisors for them. So like, I don't want to act like it's something that I'm, not attached to or not biased to, because I am, but I don't attach myself to stuff that things that I don't believe in and I don't do personally. So like, I am deeply involved in this. I'm on the board of advisors, and they have a really, really cool project that they're doing. It's obviously a crypto-based thing, but it's so far past that. They have their own wallet that we just dropped the wallet, I believe, like this last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to start doing like betting, where you can bet the actual crypto in fights like MMA On. If you buy MMA On, you and I can bet against each other using MMA On. There's a bunch of different features. They literally just dropped the roadmap. I shared it on my story, but if you go to MMA On's Instagram, they just dropped the roadmap on all kinds of different stuff that they're doing. It's not super big here in the US. It's more of an overseas thing, but the guy behind it is a crypto genius. He's done a ton of different stuff. A lot of projects he's a part of are killing it. And I really enjoy being a part of it. I really do believe it's gonna take off. Like, I think it's probably low. I think I checked it earlier. I think it's like 20 cents right now. I could definitely see that in the next year or two hitting $1. It would not surprise me in the least bit.
Yeah. Before this and today, I didn't spend a ton of time with it because I was just bouncing around work and stuff. But
yep.
I went on looked it out on Coinbase, and I was just trying to read on it. But I was going to ask you more about it. And so, like, for myself, because I do find it interesting, and then anybody else who might listen, what do? We go buy some of it, or we like? How
yeah, I mean, that's what's tough. It's tough to buy in America because it's only on certain exchanges that aren't typically in America. But it also, what's really cool about it is it also allows you to like support the fighters individually. Like, you can leave a donation through the crypto on there for a specific fighter that you want. There's so many cool things about it that I really like. The worst thing about it is that you can't buy it in the US right now. And that's something that we're really working on, because I have a ton of people that want to be a part of it. And it's really difficult right now. And that's what we're working on currently.
See, I was playing with it, and I tried to click to buy on Coinbase because I use that quite a bit. And then it kicked me to Coinbase wallet, and it was having me set up, and I just didn't finish the setup process.
So you can put it in any wallet. If you own it, you can have it in any wallet. But you can't buy it on the exchange. So I don't know how familiar with crypto you are, but there's the exchange and then there's the wallet. They're two separate things. You can have it in the wallet, of course, but you can't buy it on the exchange. And that's where you have to put it from one to the other.
Well, thank you for clarifying that, because I was going to go and try to buy it and put it in the wallet. I was confused, but now, I'm sure you have no idea of when it will be available in the US then.
I don't, unfortunately.
Well, for now, I'll keep following you, and when I can get it, I'll get it. So, let's see. I do have and this is another big reason I wanted to talk to you, man, is because you're a professional athlete and a fighter, but we've only talked maybe like 10% of the time about fighting, because I love I love finance and talking about investing, and you're just a smart, well-rounded guy, and you're genuine. But I do want to squeeze some fight talk in. So
sure.
Let's talk about these ridiculous, what is it, 24-hour, 48-hour fight notice you almost took? You tried to take.
I almost took, or I did take?
No, excuse me. You did take. They almost let you.
No, so I did one. I fought Trevin Giles on 18.
Yeah. I know that. I'm talking about the one that was most recent.
Yeah, Chris Curtis. It was the same thing, similar timeline. I offered to step in and fight at 85 again. Yeah,
it just I find it bizarre following it, because you got a lot of guys in the showbiz per se who are saying I'll fight anywhere, anytime, and then you see about cancellations or backing out, and then you're like, hey, I'm coaching the card, and they're like, James Krause may be a fill-in, and I was like, holy shit! What would the weight cut be like for that, man?
Oh, at 85, minimal. I think I was like 192. I would told them I would go get in the sauna and.
But they declined you for health reasons, or just it was too soon, or what?
The commission didn't want to do it. It was too fast.
Right. They were probably a little skeptical, I guess, just because of the turnaround time.
I'm not sure. I didn't really dive into it. I just said, hey, I'll fight this dude if y'all want. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like the rest of it's on them. I don't know. I was told the UFC was interested in it, but the Nevada State Athletic Commission was not. I don't know why exactly.
Your last one that you did take on notice. Do you think? Obviously, most people go quick and think maybe disadvantage because you haven't had time to train. Did you think the opposite at all? And like, hey, I haven't been stressing about this. I didn't really get beat up in camp. It's kind of like worry free. And it to me, as a non-fighter, obviously, it looked like a win-win for you, because
it was a win-win.
Yeah,
it was a win-win for me, but I wouldn't say I had an advantage. That's for sure. I'm always in good shape, but good shape and fight shape are vastly different. So I was not in great shape for that fight, and I think it showed. Like watching any of my other fights, I don't get tired, and I just got super tired in that fight.
You guys went to a decision, right?
Yeah.
So you think full camp that would have been yours easy then?
I thought it was mine anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought I won anyway. So I still to this day feel like I won, but it's not like I lose sleep over or anything like that. But I thought I won. I thought I won round 1 and 3 pretty convincingly. Round 3 was a little close, but statistically I won it. I feel like the momentum in the fight, I won it. But yeah, on a camp, I think I finished it.
Are you? I mean, to my knowledge, I think you're the only one. Are you the only active coach / fighter? I mean, are there any?
I think so. I don't know. I think so.
I thought so too. So who's coaching you per se when you're getting ready for camp and fight?
Yeah, my coach is Mark Montoya. He's out of Factory X Muay Thai in Denver, Colorado.
Okay, and he comes down to where you're at in Missouri, or
I go to him.
Okay, and I don't know if you wanted to talk about it at all, but obviously you've been getting on the business side of things, and you're super busy coaching. Are you planning on stepping in the cage anytime soon, or are you playing that by ear?
I don't know. Like I'm kind of playing it by ear. Like if I did fight, it would probably just be one more time. If I do fight again, I'm 35. I've been fighting for 15 years now. I have probably 70 fights, pro and amateur. You have to be done at some point, and I don't know. The only reason I would fight again is just to get some type of like closure. Like, hey, this is my last fight, or hey, do the whole stupid glove thing, and you know what I mean. I don't know. Then I don't need that. You know what I mean? Like I don't need that to feel good about what I've done. I don't have a good answer for it. I've been asked that quite a bit, but if I ever do fight again, it'll just be one more.
Sure. Well, I was going to ask this at the end, which we're getting fairly close to, but it was going to be one of my rapid fire questions. But while we're on the topic, so you maybe got one more in the pipeline for you. Someone you'd want to go against, and money fight per se. If you could take your pick of the litter right now, like, hey man, I get a good money fight, go out with a bang, see what I got. Who would that be?
Cerrone.
That's not unrealistic, right? I mean, he's definitely on the
he's back at 55 now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I saw that he was fighting the new kid Patty, but then I saw he was fighting someone else. I don't know.
I think he's fighting Patty.
See, I'm only following what the people say on like MMA Junkie, but I thought I saw Patty fighting someone else now, but I don't know.
No, I think he's fighting Patty. As far as I know, that's
who you taking that one?
I think it's a pretty competitive fight. I mean, Cerrone just hasn't looked stellar as of late. But Patty's young and he makes a lot of mistakes, man. I could see Cowboy catching him with a kick or something like that. I could see Patty knocking him out too. So I don't know. That's a tough one.
Well, Cowboy also, I think it's like a 5-loss streak, but he took one against Pettis that arguably people thought he won and could have went either way, really. Anthony Pettis before he bounced to the PFL. So,
yeah, that definitely could have went. That was close. It happens. Shit happens. He's been around for a long time. He's got a lot of miles on him, man.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to ask too, because I'm a big fan of this gentleman and just see your take as a coach and a fighter and a guy who looks at everything at all angles. Cody Garbrandt, on a pretty decent skid after being so high on the chain, and there's a lot of talk about him, kind of just lost his chin and not looking good overall. What are your thoughts on that at all, if any?
That's a really tough one, man. Like I feel like you got to be in the inner circle of that one to really get a good understanding of what he's going through.
You think that could be he's bounced between Cali and Jersey with gyms kind of going back and forth? Do you think that could be like he needs a complete gym change? Do you think it's a gym thing or?
No, I mean, no, it's not like he looks bad. He's not looking bad. You know what I mean? Like he's getting clipped.
Yeah.
But he's not looking bad. He's fast still. He's got speed. I don't know if it's, I mean, his shape seems to be good. He's fast. He's fucking probably has the fastest hands in the division. I don't know if his chin, I don't want to say his chin's gone, but he's been in a lot of fights. And I know he comes up in a boxing background that typically, they've been in a lot of wars in the gym and stuff like that. I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel like you got to be in his inner circle to really know. And it's hard to tell because he's been fighting such an elite group for so long that it's not like he's fighting shit cans. He's fighting really fucking good guys. You know what I mean? So I don't want to I'm not going to disrespect his skills or anything like that. But yeah, he's in a tough spot. If I'm him, I put him against a jiu-jitsu guy or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, like at 25, the Namacento or one of those jiu-jitsu guys that don't have a ton of power. And, I think that'll tell a lot. But I mean, you kind of seen that against a Sensao. He knocked the shit out of a Sensao, like, it's not like he's losing to bad guys. His worst loss is the Kai Kara France, who stylistically matches up with Cody really well.
Yeah, we were there for that one. That was my first live event, so that was super cool. Obviously, would like to see Cody win, but
sure.
Well, yeah, man. I'm going to go into more of some rapid fire questions because we're about to close out here, and then we can wrap it up. Let's see. Wanted to hear your main and co-main picks for 270. So between the heavies and then the flies.
Moreno, gone, I guess.
Yes, that's so. You got Moreno and Figueiredo, and then you got Ngannou and.
No, I'm taking Moreno and Cyril gone.
Oh, you're going Moreno, Cyril gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What would you say what is harder to you, being the fighter or the coach?
They're both difficult in different ways. I mean, the fighter obviously has more stress, more immediate stress, more urgency, but the coach has to deal with more than one thing at once. So it's the same approach in different ways, if that makes any sense. It's the same amount of stress in different areas. Cool.
And I had this in my notes too. I wanted to go back and give you props on that. How you hear all these fighters like, I just want the belt. I want the belt. I want to be the champion. And you're sitting here, no bullshit. You're like, hey, I'm trying to get me and my guys financial independence. If you want to be the champ, that's cool. I can see it. But if you want to make a living and retire and have some money in the bank, that's cool too. And you just don't really hear anybody saying that. Everybody, everybody wants a check, of course, but they're always talking about being a champion. You're like, hey, I'm content with making a good living here. So.
Yeah, you'll never find an interview of me saying I want to be a champion. It's just unpopular opinion. I just never given a shit about it. My goal has always been financial freedom. It just has been. I don't know. I'm sorry to the people that, what the fuck you should be fighting then. I've been fighting for a long time, man.
Right.
Fuck you guys. I fought some really good dudes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I've been fighting some good guys. So and it's not like nobody goes into a fight and was like, everybody's like, oh, he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Listen, when you're in there, nobody's like, I promise you, when we're facing off and I'm throwing jabs, I'm not like, oh, I don't want the title. Maybe I should quit. No, we're at such a primitive event. It's like, I'm just trying to get out of here alive, bro. Like, I'm not thinking about, I don't want it bad enough. Fuck, nobody thinks that shit. It's ridiculous. These people that say that stupid shit never fought a day in their life.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, everybody's an armchair quarterback per se, but I thought it was super neat when Gaethje was like, because people say, yeah, man, if you really wanted to close it out, you shouldn't have let it go to the bell. And he's like, yeah, no one wants to go to that bell.
Yeah.
Like, no, we don't want to stay in there that long. You think we want to go there? Yeah.
No, that's terrible.
I really do think every fan should go to a live event because it is so much more brutal than on the TV. Like sitting close to the cage, like at some of the smaller events, seeing what it is, it really does open your eyes to how, brutal the sport is.
The sounds, like even as a coach, I was just telling somebody this the other day, I was like, I was listening. We were like, I was like, fuck, is that what that sounds like when I'm in there? Like, does that noise that make the same noise when it hits me like that? Because when you're in the fight, you don't hear them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't hear the thuds, and you just don't. And then when you're outside coaching, you're like, oh god damn, is that what that sounds like? Jesus, especially like the bone on bone. It's just ugly. It's bad.
No, I agree.
Bad.
I mean, we're at the T-Mobile. We were up in the nosebleeds, but you know, I go to some LFA events and some XFN. You know, the lower promotions, and you can sit close for a good amount, and you hear it all, man. I mean, it's crazy.
You can even smell it sometimes. The iron in the blood, and like I'm telling you, like it sounds kind of weird, but like if I recommend, if you're a real fight fan, I'm a snob. I can't watch anything past like first, second row. Like I have to be there because I've been in so many. I would rather watch it at home.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be way back. But if you can get close enough, pay the money because you'll get a different appreciation for it, of the sounds, of the impact. Like you can feel it. You know what I mean? You are immersed within the experience. You're no longer a witness of the experience. You are immersed within it. You can feel it. You can smell it. It's the word I use is intimate. It becomes very intimate and your senses take over. Like you can smell the blood. You can smell the sweat. You can feel the shake from the weight hitting the cage and transfer to the floor. Like you get a better appreciation for it. Small little details. It's very
you're 100% correct. When I went to my most recent one with Bobby up in Vail, Colorado, he had some tickets there because Sheath was a sponsor. Mm-hmm. And like you said, just the little things, because you know, these girls in the cage, and then their whole families are there, and then the winners are going crazy, and then the losers, the girl who lost, they're bawling their eyes out and they're making sure she's healthy. And then, you know, the fighters are coming out and they're giving us high fives, and the cut man's coming over and he's like got blood on him. You can see it on his face. And like you said, it's just so different from the TV, even at a small style of an event, because a lot of these guys are getting a call in the next, you know, 2-3 months if they win and stuff. So
even me watching back, like I'll tell you, just a crazy experience. Like it's when you're watching it. So like, this is just such a surreal thing for me whenever I see this. I'm in the locker room. I'm seeing somebody warm up next to me. Like, let's say you and I are in the locker room. I'm warming my guy up. We're not even really talking. We say, hey, what's up, whatever. I'm warming my guy up, boom, 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 you know, whatever. And I see you and they call your name. All right, we're going out. We're going out to fight. Justin's going to fight, blah, blah, blah. I say, okay, cool. I just seen this guy. He was right here in front of me. And then, like, I go out and you're on a TV. And whenever you're on the TV, it's not real. Like, I can't touch you. Or it's not tangible anymore, right? And then literally you go off the TV, 2 minutes later, you walk right back in front of me and you're fucked up. And it's like, holy shit. Like, there was such a big, like, I literally just watched this guy and I had like no emotion towards him. I watched him, he's fucked up and like whatever. And then now he's in front of me and you're like, God bless, man. Like, it's just different. You can't get an appreciation for it until it becomes tangible and it's in front of you and it's intimate. Your senses take over. And it's just even me. And I know where they're going. I've been through it. I coached through it. I've fought through it. And I still can't get a great appreciation until that person comes in front of me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I 100% agree. Even with like the ceremonial weigh-ins on TV, it just looks like this big show and production. And it's like you said, it's just like they're so far away and it's, oh my God, I never see them. And then when you go live, you know, at the MGM, it's like, oh shit, they're just chilling. I mean, they're just weighing in and, you know, puffing their chest and it's, you know, but you got them all. I agree with you 100%. You have extremely good perspectives and opinions on that. So you word it very well.
Thank you.
Let's see. Big question I have from my brother. For a fighter, how long does it take for you to tell if they got it or not? If they're cut for this business, is that something you see instantly? Can some people pick it up in 2 to 3 months, or is there just something you're like, you got it or you don't, man?
I think everybody's got it. Okay. I'm not a natural athlete. And you know what? I shouldn't say that because it's not true, but I feel like if you work hard enough at something, you can get it. I've seen guys that like I wasn't good. I didn't start out good. I wasn't mentally tough. I wasn't an overly durable person. I was slightly athletic, nothing crazy, but I worked fucking way harder than everybody else. I showed up every single day, and I was one of the first people in Kansas City to be like, hey, I'm going to do this every day, twice a day for the rest of my life. And it was a thing to where like, the guys that had like 2 years experience, I mean, they whooped my ass. And then like, I just started catching up to them. I'd catch up to them. And then I'd beat them and then I'd surpass them. And then they would quit. And then a new set of guys would, and it's just before long, like it wasn't that I was better than everybody else. It was just that I outlasted everybody. And you know what I mean? Like I just became the guy with the most experience.
Sure.
So when somebody asked me like, hey, what do you think? Can I do this? I'm like, yeah, of course you can. Yeah. But what are you willing to do to get it? That's the real question. It's not do you have it, it's what are you willing to do to get it? Because nobody has it, but everybody has it, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Nobody has it here, everybody has it here. And you gotta get it here to get it here. And it's like, what are you willing to do to get it here to get it here? And that's the question, that the underlying question that we're asking, in my opinion.
You gotta cut out those naps, right?
I mean, yeah. No, I mean, no, but yeah, like you gotta, how fucking important is it, man? Like
Sure.
if you're, you know what I mean? Like these guys go home and they take naps, and this is my problem, is like, they say they want what I have, but they're not willing to do what I do. And that's where the problem is. Like, okay, cool. Cut your nap, get up, get 5, 6 a.m. every morning. And it's like, fuck that. Okay, well, cool. Then you don't want what I have. You know what I mean? Like, that's just plain and simple. Like, it's plain and simple.
Colby or Jorge?
I love Jorge. I'm a huge fan of his. I respect him a ton. I respect all those OG guys.
You fought him, right?
I will say, yeah, really good fighter. One of the best fighters I've ever competed against. Very, very smart. High fight IQ. Very underrated grappling. He's very good. Colby's a really difficult matchup for him. Really difficult matchup for him.
Cool. Yeah, man. When Jorge knocked out Ben Askren, that to me, I literally was like, "Is this staged?" That was so ridiculous to me. So
yeah,
ridiculous.
It was pretty nuts. Pretty nuts.
Let's see, man. I think that's about all I had. I did want to say I've been following you at Instagram, and shout out to you for being such an advocate for putting up the cards, man. That's like,
motherfuckers, bro. What is wrong with people?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I don't have a ton of pet peeves. Like, I'm pretty easygoing, but yeah, if I could go back and text you all these memories on my Facebook, like I will used to put pictures up like every weekend at Walmart or the grocery store. I just don't get it, man. I can pass so much of this shit, just drives me crazy.
If you don't put your card up, like, I think you're fucking scum of the earth. I think you're such a piece of shit. If you don't put your fucking card up, like, that just displays the level of laziness that you have. And it's like, what? I don't know. I'm gonna piss somebody off. I'm gonna offend somebody, and that's not my intentions. But like, it's like, fuck. I just don't get why. Like, why? Why don't you? What? Like, and the number one answer is they have somebody from that. No, they don't. No, they fucking don't. No, nobody has a person for that. Some fucking bag boy has got to come out and do it. And if they, like, nobody has a cart guy. Nobody is hired just to bring in carts.
I used to push carts on the side at Walmart, and so when you put them in the bin, it's fine to do. But if you put 20 in across the parking lot, it takes time. It hits people's cars. It dings. And we could probably rant on this forever, but no one has an issue getting the cart to put their Oreos and their Dr. Pepper in, but by God, to put it up, it's too cold. Or
what's worse? What's worse than people not putting their cart up is people using the electronic scooters that don't need to.
Oh yeah, that's
even worse.
One. Yeah,
complete pieces of shit. If you need to use it, I get it. If you're fucking lazy. Oh, don't get me started, bro. We need another podcast for this one, but
yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude. The level of laziness that our country has allowed is just absurd to me. It's insane to me. And that's why if you, I'm trying to tiptoe around it. If you're not where you are in life, you're probably doing dumb shit like that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And like, how you do anything is how you do everything. So,
yeah, man. Every time I go to Walmart, which is far and few between nowadays, and I come back and, like I said, I'm a pretty happy person, pretty optimistic. I'm like, God, I'm pissed off. I just hate Walmart now. No one has respect there. Like I said, everyone's kids are driving their electric scooters. They're all gone. Then they leave them dead in the parking lot, and then they're hitting my car with their car.
I seen a lady. She had an electric scooter the other day. She got up out of the damn thing and walked all the way down the aisle to grab what she wanted and came back because she didn't have enough room to turn around. And it's just like, I wanted to look her in the eye, and I didn't, of course, but I wanted to be like, you are such a lazy piece of shit. Like, you're the worst type of human ever. And I just don't think highly of anybody that does that. Maybe I'm a piece of shit for thinking that, but
no, not at all.
I don't care. It's just so weird to me, man. I don't get it.
I'm not going to do it. I would love to, just to prove to my people that because everyone knows me like you do. You're getting tagged in all these cart stories. People know me like that. My friends, like when there's a meme or when I reshare it, they laugh or they'll be like, tag me in this little cart things. Like basically if you don't put it up, you're a scumbag, and they'll always tag me in it. I want to just clip this last 5 minutes to put on there and be like, just show it. But I'll do it.
Send that shit.
And that's not even clickbait. That's just going to be like, James Krause agrees. If you don't put your card up, you're a shitbag.
If you don't put your card up at the grocery store, you are the lowest piece of shit on this planet.
100% agree. 100% agree. I saw that and I was like, oh man, this is my guy. You went from like already high on my list to just my freaking hero, dude. No, good chat, James, dude. I really appreciate it. Like I said, shout out to Bobby for getting us connected. Keep doing good work, and thank you. I've been following you more out of the cage than I have in the cage the last year and a half, 2 years. So we'll keep following you either way. And I'll be looking for the MMA on stuff. We can purchase it. Anything else you want to close out with?
No, man, I appreciate you having me, bro. I had a blast.
Yeah. Put your fucking card up, right?
Put your fucking card up. Such a piece of shit if you don't.
Hey, dude, good luck. Keep pounding away. And I appreciate you once again.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man.